Okay, everybody, well, I have a special treat for you. We are going to get an interview with Complexity Games RSVP. RSVP, uh, just 3 and 0'd our 3-time ASC Weekly champion, Shake Saga. RSVP, how was the tournament for you today, man?
The tournament was great. I had lots of fun. It was really well run, so thanks to you guys for hosting. Um, yeah, I felt like I felt pretty confident through all my games, and I guess I came out the winner.
Yeah, so what brought you to the Weekly, if I may ask?
Basically, I'm just looking around for online tournaments to play. There, I mean, they're really fun to play in. I think I remember playing in the Well Played Open a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
and then I realized that this was actually a weekly thing. So I found it again, and I signed up.
Excellent. Sure. Yeah. Of course, I think Root Dodoro was the winner of that particular tournament, and yeah, the Well Played Open we did produce, and we will be doing a second unofficial Well Played Open on July 1st. So look forward to that. I believe Kelly Milkis will be joining us to co-cast that as well. But I actually have your first replay up here, and I just wanted to kind of sort of go through it with you for a little bit. So I'm going to assume that you got through the rank and file of the early brackets with ease. Did anybody give you a hard time through the brackets at all?
So I actually lost the first game in my round of 8 matchup against Muta, who was a surprisingly pretty strong Zerg player. Um, I'm not too sure what happened, but I mean he played well and I kind of messed up, so he took a game off me. But I was able to win the next two. Besides that, I don't remember any other games that were too much trouble.
So you seem very confident in all of your matchups. Is there one matchup in particular you favor? Do you favor playing against Terran, your PvP, your Zerg? What's your favorite matchup to play against? And follow that up with what your least favorite would be.
Um, so my best matchup I feel is my PvZ. I really feel like I have a good grasp of that. As far as my least, I kind of feel like all my matchups are about the same level right now. Like
Okay.
there's not that's particularly better or not, but I do enjoy playing PvZ the most, and I enjoy the least PvP, probably like everybody else.
Yeah. Now, everybody hates their mirror matches, I know. I have yet myself to figure out PvZ, so maybe you can share some insight later. I would certainly appreciate it. I haven't got that matchup figured out in the least. As a matter of fact, I'm known as the one roach rage quit. I see a roach and that's good enough. I'm beat. Good enough, you win, and I'm out. But no,
Yeah.
I just you're doing a little pro harass here in the beginning of the game. Um, I don't know if you've ever spied any of Shake's games or anything. I'm going to assume no, so this was the first time you were going to go up against him. Something to let you a little bit know about Shake's style. Shake has got great map awareness. He seems to be able to find proxies with ease, find ninja expansions with ease. Now, you did open up with his proxy Void Ray, which had done very well for you previously in the tournament. I don't think it did the damage or had the effect you wanted it to, however, in this one. He was a little bit more marine heavy. What were your thoughts after that kind of failed to do any damage?
Well, so this proxy void gate or proxy void ray strategy, it's basically only a 2 gate stargate, so it's not really an all-in strategy.
Mm-hmm.
So I know he deflected it pretty easily, partly because I kind of let my 3 stalkers get caught in the middle of the map. So as soon as that happened, I'm like, oh no, well there goes this there goes this opening. But I mean, because I was constantly still making probes, and I saw him lay down his expansion about the same time I laid down mine, I knew that the game was still pretty even at that point.
Yeah, for sure. So not necessarily reliant on doing a ton of damage, as you said, as it is not all in. You do get to. I do notice that you do like to pressure the Terran very earlier and expand behind it. So I think that early pressure isn't really there to win the game for you, just to expand behind it. However, you did take an early game off him in the second. You caught him getting a little bit greedy.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah, I was kind of confused what he was trying to do, because his Reaper came into my base, saw 3 gateways,
Right.
but he didn't kind of react. I thought he would. I mean, he should have thrown down 2 or 3 bunkers immediately as soon as he saw that, but he didn't, and he was able. And I mean, he got caught by a force field with not many troops below his or at his nat, so I was able to quickly win that game.
Yeah, that was really out of his playstyle. Myself and Sleeper Cells, while we were commentating, we have commentated before on Shake multiple times, and the whole thing was it just didn't look like that normal Shake. I think he might have been a little bit. He finally faced an opponent that he didn't really overpower overwhelmingly. Like, it was definitely a job for him. He was up against the wall, I think, after that second game. Back to the first game for a second, though.
Hmm.
There was a point where you're at your fourth, and he finds your fourth, he drops it, and your army was moving across. But I believe you had a lone probe at the Zalnaga, which caught his full force uh, getting ready to engage, and it allowed you to go ahead and get your army back from that fourth, back into position, because you were a bit out of position there for a minute.
Yeah.
And how did you feel about that engagement? Were you pretty confident going into that, seeing as though you did see him the whole way going up?
Yeah, so I knew that because I got my third base slightly before him, I was probably at somewhat of an advantage, especially because I was prepared and was
Mm-hmm.
able to position my army to battle his. So, I mean, as soon as I saw his army moving across, I knew that if he attacked me, I would be in a good position to hold.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was a very great game to watch, very entertaining. Our chat was going crazy, I know, because they love big engagements, and there was a lot of action around the 17-minute mark, and it certainly provided for good entertainment. I noticed that you like to get Phoenix out, and not a lot of your silver through platinum Protoss. They rarely use that, especially versus Terran. Now, is that to go ahead and counter Vikings to keep your Colossi alive? I would imagine. I would assume. Is that what you use them for, or is it a
Yeah.
harass tactic, or just is it just there to basically keep those Vikings from dominating those Colossus?
Yeah, basically the only purpose of it in late game is to fight Vikings. I mean, during the early and mid game, if you have a few Colossus and they have a few Vikings, usually you have enough Stalkers to kind of deal with it. But when they get, that large, huge cloud of Vikings, there's really no way to just battle it with only Stalkers, especially like on a map like Meadow where, it's not exactly wide open, so you can't always get good blinks to snipe off Vikings. So on a map like that, I find that Phoenix really, really help in the late game to keep your Colossus alive.
Yeah, so actually, we're not going to go over game two because that's exactly what you did. You did keep the Colossus alive, and they were obviously able to reign supreme over the Terran there toward the end as his bio melted under the pressure of it. Of course, game two was a quick game. You caught him getting extremely greedy. Not much to say about that, but I do have some questions about the game on Test Bug. And so the chat wants to know the same thing. Were you at all nervous making all of those sentries? Weren't you worried they were going to get sniped?
By what?
Well, I mean, he did. I believe. I'm not sure if I'm going to see in a second if he had stim completed, but just his bio army. I mean, it was. I said it was almost like a unit composition versus that you were going to play a Zerg against. You saw a very sentry heavy play, and you were able, of course, to trap that bio in there and let those zealots do work. But actually, Lyotab from chat wanted me to ask you. Had they gotten sniped, if he caught you off guard, didn't see it coming, where would you have gone from there?
Well, so I guess part of, if you do the sentry heavy play, you have to have good map awareness to make sure that you don't get your army caught out of position. But I mean, other than that, if you're prepared and ready and know where his army is, then there's really, I mean, it's actually a really, really safe build because with good force fields, there's no way for him to snipe your sentries without like losing half his army. So like actually, if you watch a lot of games by say like MC or like Axlab or a lot of the other top Protoss players, they seem to really favor like a 3-gate expand heavy sentry style.
Yeah.
As well. So, yeah, I mean it's a really good strategy as long as you can kind of have good map awareness.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is if you're going to do this, don't get caught by surprise. That's the key to this working, obviously. So there you go, Lyotab. The best way to do it is not to get caught off guard. You have to have good map awareness if you're going to go ahead and go sentry heavy.
And then good map awareness means like in the early and mid game to keep probes, in front of this base, to take the watchtowers, and then mid and late game to have observers and proxy pylons all over the map.
Yeah, did you have a lot of experience with Test Bug? Have you been playing that map a lot?
So because I ladder a lot, I guess Test Bug is one of the maps I don't have as much experience on. But I mean, I've been playing a lot of tournaments recently, and Test Bug is generally in most tournament map pools. So I do have a decent amount of experience playing on Test Bug.
Okay. So pretty much going into this game, you're up 2. You got to feel pretty confident. You looked very solid with those gateway units. And, one of the things as a Protoss I worry about is not having enough firepower against that bio ball or any early aggression from the Terran, like a 2 racks or some sort of early pressure, but you seem to throw it back in their face and say, hey, I'm here. I don't care if you get a stray zealot because I have more on the way. And you really engage gateway heavy. Is this a style that you think we're going to see more of in competitive play and more of on the ladder?
So I think it's already a style that a lot of people are exploring. People are finding out that Colossus isn't always the answer to everything. There's definitely other viable alternatives. And like going back to examples like from the MLG last week, if you watch MC's games, he basically in every single PvT he would open 1 gate expand, follow up with 3 gateways, a Twilight Council, and then 3 more gateways. So I mean, so his build, he got Blink faster, and then he got Twilight upgrades faster. But I mean, the basis of his army was still mass gateway with a lot of sentries.
Yeah, no, for sure. So MC's doing it. I try not to emulate MC just simply because I know I don't have the control he does, and I'm actually going to try not to emulate you because you have MCS control yourself. Of course, being a top Grandmasters player, I guess that goes hand in hand. Will you be competing in MLG Anaheim?
Yeah, that's my plan. My plan is to be at every single MLG this year.
I will see you in Orlando then, for sure. We'll definitely hook up in Orlando. You can come over to Team Tumba. Team Tumba, of course, my team, which consists of only casters and bronze players, so you'll have a blast there. You're more than welcome to come over. But in all seriousness, real quick, GSL prediction, Slayer's Alicia, the only remaining Protoss. Do you think he can pull it out, win the GSL?
To win the GSL?
The Open? Excuse me, the mega massive tournament they currently are going?
Well, I'm not sure if he can win the entire thing, but I think he can definitely get past another round or two. The whole Slayers team has been really surprisingly strong. Like I did not expect them to, really do as well as they have recently in, the GS Team League, all the tournaments, even MLG with MMA winning it all. But yeah, they've been surprising me with how good they are with given some practice. So I definitely think Alicia can definitely go at least another round or two. And of course he's the only Protoss left, so I'm definitely cheering for him.
There it is. So what is next on your calendar other than the MLG? Where can we find you? Do you have a stream? What's up with Complexity's RSVP? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I do not have a stream, but I am looking to get one in the near future. As soon as I get a better computer, so I could, actually stream at a decent quality.
Of course.
But there's not too much going on. I'm just trying to play in a lot of online tournaments, practicing on ladder, practicing with my teammates, preparing, for the big lands like MLG. Yeah. So basically, any online tournament you'll probably see me in. I know that Team Liquid just announced a new series of TL Opens, and that's every Saturday, so I definitely plan on playing on that.
Very awesome. Can't wait to keep an eye on you there as well. Now I've got 2 favorite players. I can watch XM Shake Saga, and I can watch RSVP. I'm so excited about that. So lastly, any shout-outs you have for anybody? Yeah,
I'll give a shout-out to my team, Complexity Gaming. They are great. Love all the people there. And also, I guess, to my sponsors, PNY, Origin, Creative, and QPAD. They've been great sponsors, and they've supported me really well. So thanks. Oh, and also thanks to ASC Weekly for setting up these awesome tournaments.
Oh wow! Thank you very much. Can we count on you on coming back in the near future?
Yeah, I'll definitely be in the next one if I can.
Excellent. And there you have it. Complexity Gaming's RSVP, definitely a player to watch. You're going to catch him at MLG Anaheim, hopefully Raleigh and Orlando as well. Thank you so very much for taking the time to do this interview with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.